Hi friends, I'm Titi Isang and welcome to Cocktail Convos. So on today's episode, I think we're going to get a few nuggets today. We have someone that I think is going to give us some good advice. I'll let him introduce himself.
My name is AJ Styles. Toronto people call me Mr. Sold Out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. Thanks for coming. I know you are booked and busy, busy being sold out. So
I try.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of what we want to talk about today.
Okay.
Kind of your journey, because you don't know me, but I know you.
I know you.
Okay.
I know you now.
But I'm sure there are a lot of people that are like that to you. And that's because of the name you built, right?
Yeah.
So I want us to kind of talk about how you build that name, where you're taking the name to, and things like that. Mm-hmm. So let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
From what I know of you, or how I knew you, was okay, you're the guy that throws parties. So I know, of course, you've grown a lot more from there, but I want to take it back to like how that started. What even gave you the idea? Was it just like something that I started doing for fun and it kind of grew from there? Or how did it start?
Oh wow, good memory lane. Actually, I started doing events all the way back in Nigeria, but not. I never expected to be doing this. So it was never the plan to do events. But I remember high school, when it was time to do, they used to call it socials back in the day. I was the guy that would come and be like, "Oh, AJ, please organize it." I don't know why, but the guys they felt like I could do a good job, so I tried. So I think it's always been something. It's always been there naturally.
Yeah. Okay.
In Canada, my friend at the time, we were trying to start up a T-shirt company. It was taking too long because we didn't know what we were doing.
Right.
And then I was like, "Yo, guys, let's just start doing parties." And then we then promote the T-shirts, from the parties. And that's how I honestly started doing events.
Okay, that's an interesting transition from T-shirts to parties.
And then everybody forgot about the T-shirts.
Right. You forgot about it.
Oh, yeah, because that wasn't my thing. He wanted to do the T-shirt.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to collaborate with him. But I felt like we were wasting time, like 4 months and nothing. I'm like, "Guy, did you message them? Message the people from China, this and that." Like, "Yo, let's just start doing events and then we can incorporate the T-shirt thing later on." And yeah, that's honestly how it started so long ago.
Yeah. How long ago was it?
Bro, I don't remember. I honestly don't. It's long.
It's okay, don't age yourself.
I mean, it's fine. People always give me different age every time. Everywhere I go, I'm a different age, so it's whatever.
Okay, so do you want to tell us your real age now?
No.
Okay, since we brought up the topic of age, just talking like in the long run, do you see yourself doing this? Like, when do you think you're going to be like, okay, I'm done, I'm retired from this, let's move on to something else?
Yeah, that's a good question, because it has crossed my mind a couple of times. But then I realized that I think this is something I'll do for forever.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just gonna be a transition. As I grow, I'll transit into a different, let's say, different department or different sector of entertainment. Because I know people that are like in their 60s or 70s even, they're still doing something in entertainment. So it doesn't necessarily have to just be parties, like you say. Or even they still do parties. They're billionaire clubs. So I just feel like eventually I'll keep on transitioning, but I'm never gonna just quit because it is who I am.
Yeah, I feel like I wasn't expecting that answer. But so, do you think that this, I guess, lifestyle or career path that you've chosen, has that affected your personal life in any way? Because why I also asked about you, retiring and moving on, is because from my point of view, I'm like, I can't imagine being this year old and like just, I don't know, still being in that life. I can't imagine it because that's not my life.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking from your perspective, do you think of how that would affect your personal life in the long run, and how is it currently affecting it, or has it in any way?
I mean, anybody that's into entertainment, entertainment always affects your life.
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm not in a rush to do anything. I don't even have a babe to start with, so I'm not thinking about kids or marriage or anything like that anytime soon. But I do know for a fact that yeah, it has affected my life personally. There are some girls, mostly like Nigerian or African girls, promoter, so they would think this guy is one. He must be drunk every day with like 10
Well, that's
girls.
exactly, exactly
He must be drunk every day, high every day with 10 girls all around him. But uh, people are different. I see the business aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I see the creative aspect of it, um, the game ideas, and how to render services.
Yeah.
And this is all something that I've been doing for a long time. Even people will just brand, oh, this guy is a promoter, but I don't even see myself as a promoter. I feel like I'm a whole lot more.
So what do you see yourself as?
I need to find a name. So and
Like,
now
what are the
now
many things? I know maybe you can't fit into one box, but what are
yeah,
the other branches?
now even on flyers you see my name more as a host
Mm-hmm.
than anything else,
Yeah.
because I feel like a host can do everything, because I MC, I promote events, and then I also manage clubs. So right now I'm managing Club 216. So if I'm hosting for you, for instance, like I'm like, yo, TT, come out, do your birthday at Club 216, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
My job is to cater to you, to make sure that when you show up, you and your friends are having the best time. Um, that when you leave, you're gonna be like, wow, I had such a great time. Then I'm happy. Then my job is done. So that does not relate to my lifestyle in any way. In
Yeah.
fact, I am making sure that I'm sober. I'm
So that you
watching.
can work.
Yeah, so I can work. So you hardly find me drunk, funny
Fair
enough.
enough.
Yeah. So my lifestyle and maybe the lifestyle of another promoter that just want to have fun and get drunk and pop bottles, totally different. So people are different the way they handle the business. Yeah.
So, because you mentioned that like catering to the person and giving them that service is your job. So, do you think that's the aspect that is keeping you there more than like the partying aspect of it, or?
I'll say I'm even. It's hard to say that I'm an introvert because I don't. Without entertainment, I'll just be at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm good by myself. Like I don't need a lot to have a lot of people around me to be happy. I can spend time by myself. So it's never been, oh wow, I can't wait for this party because
Yeah.
of the crowd of people so I can dance, and that's never been it for me. So yeah, it's always been that aspect from when I started up until now, to try and make people happy and to make some money, obviously. So yeah, that's been the part that I've always focused on, and I think that's the part that I'm always going to focus on.
Yeah. Okay. And you mentioned you're an introvert.
Yeah.
So with the job that you do, obviously networking is very important. You kind of have to be friendly. You have to be outgoing.
Still working on it.
So
I hardly talk to people.
really?
Yes. So most of the time, people come and talk to me,
Fair.
and then some other people will see it as, oh, maybe this guy's too proud or too cocky or whatever. But I'm actually a shy person. Or sometimes I'm just walking around. I'm like, okay, maybe people are looking at me, and I'm looking at them like, do I know this person? I'm not sure. For instance, someone like you, before the last couple of weeks, I know your face,
Yeah.
but I don't know you like that.
Exactly.
Maybe if I see you somewhere and you're looking at me, I'll be like, hey, and that's where to start. But I hardly walk up to people and start talking to them. I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to build more conversations. But yeah, that's just who I am. I like to keep to myself. Naturally, I'm by myself. Yeah.
Okay, so you can be an introvert and be in this
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Absolutely, there's a balance to it, and there's a lot of people like me too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just you can look at it as a job, and then go and do it. Even when if I'm not doing my own events, or I'm not doing like managing a spot, and I'm outside somewhere, I'll say 90% of the time there's a reason why.
Yeah.
Maybe a friend of mine is doing an event, and like, yo, AJ, I need your support. That's the reason I'm there, and I'm there to actually support, not just show up. Maybe buy something or buy a ticket or something, contribute to whatever it is they're doing. So yeah, most of the time, I when I'm going out, Yeah, that's the reason why.
Okay, so what advice would you give to someone who is maybe an introvert and looking to start in this line? Because from my point of view, it's like, okay, you really have to be good at the networking aspect because you need to be able to draw people in. So is that true to an extent, or like how were you able to pull the crowds without being outgoing?
I see myself as I make a lot of deals. That's one. So if I see potential, like you now, I'm like, okay, this girl has a lot of friends and she's good. So I don't need to know how to talk to all 15, 20 friends. I just need to be able to talk to one.
That one person.
So yeah, so if I'm good with her and I see that, okay, this girl actually has a drive to do something, to make money, then we'll make a deal. And then you focus on whatever you're doing. Focus on bringing out your friends, and I only have to talk to you. So sometimes I make deals like that, and I have my own connects. Obviously, I've been doing this for a minute. So people that I work with or people that I cater for, because they know that, oh, the last time I went to this guy's party, I had such a great time. He was really nice, or at least he sent somebody from his team to come and look after me. So I'm going to the next one. Then that's how I continue building my clientele. So for people that are introverts, I mean, you can still do it. You can do it strategically, and you can find something in the industry that, okay, I really like doing this one thing. And if you start doing it, you become very good at it. People will look for you instead of you looking for them.
Okay.
So
work smart, not hard.
Both. You can do both.
Okay, fair enough.
You can do both. Yeah.
Still on the topic of kind of networking, how are you able to draw the line to say, okay, this networking is just like business kind of thing, or it's just on a friendly vibe versus maybe people taking you being nice out of context or reading it the wrong way? Do you ever get into situations like that, and how are you able to manage them?
It's impossible to get everybody to like you. I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah,
it's impossible. But I try to be open-minded. I try to be as good as I can be. But I've found out that it's impossible. Some people don't like you, no matter what you do. So I don't really try to please everybody. I try to do my best, and I leave the rest for God. So it's really impossible. You can try to be nice, try to render the best service, and sometimes it's not going to happen. For instance, like say putting an event together, there's so many components. There's the security, the bartenders, the body service girls, the MC, the DJs. There's so many people you're working with. But sometimes I would not even call it ignorance. If let's say one of these many people get to offend a client, they will then say, AJ, I came to your party and this is what happened. And sometimes they don't even know who did it. So I'm like, okay, one security guard, spoke to you rudely. Which one of them? You don't know. I wasn't there. There's no way I was going to be able to control that particular situation. But, if stuff happens, you can try to make amends, try to, fix the situation. That's all you can do. You can't really do much. But if the person is going to be like, you know what, I'm not gonna fuck with you no more, then there's nothing you can do. So but you keep it going. I don't let stuff like that bring me down or stop my drive.
Okay. And with being nice, is there any situation where it's like, oh, I'm just being nice to this girl, but she's taking it?
Oh yeah, every time.
Yeah. So how are you able to cut it off before it goes too far, kind of thing?
Well, yeah, I have my limits. So this is the best I can do, and then that is it.
Yeah.
But every time people are gonna try and take me for granted, or So, but let's say now there's a whole new wave in Toronto about people buying boots and buying bottles. 7 years ago, that's not how it was. People were buying tickets.
Yeah.
Even older crowd, younger crowd, whatever people you want to categorize it. So, but now the new vibe, everyone wants to get a boot. So people are going to try to be cheap, try to cut corners and stuff. Yeah, but for me, buy something. If you're buying something, you're contributing to the event. If you don't want to pay for tickets, okay, buy a boot. You want a discount? No problem, I'll give you a discount. But then I can only give you a discount to a certain level. Thank you. So But yeah, people still gonna try and take advantage and everything, but I can't do more than myself.
Yeah, right.
That's what it
Okay.
is.
So I know that you are kind of also branching out. You're not
Mhm.
just, like you said, a promoter or just a host. You have
No,
your grocery store. So, like,
no,
you're an entrepreneur now.
a lot of work.
Yeah. So, firstly, when did you decide that, okay, it's important for me to actually branch out? And how did you start that process?
Oh wow. I'll tell everybody, do not do a grocery store business. Don't do
Is
it.
it that stressful?
Yes, it looks easy. It looks like, oh yeah, I can just do this and do this.
Mhm.
But no, it's very hard. It's very hard. It's very stressful. If you come to my store, you look around, you be like, oh, it's a nice small store. But we have, I don't even know. Last time we tried to count, it was over 600 items. Imagine having to manage 600 plus
Yeah.
items and making sure that we have stocks every time.
Mhm.
So the management aspect of it is very hard. Restocking is also very hard. It's physically challenging as well. Time you're going to put into it. But for me, I always wanted a business that's ongoing because I'm a realtor. I do real estate, but I don't get paid if I don't make deals. So everything I do is commission based. If I do my parties, I need you. I need people to come, people to buy tickets. So it's all commission based. I need those numbers. So I wanted something that's like that's ongoing. 7 days a week,
Yeah.
I have a chance of making money. Every day. That's why I went into the grocery business. Long term, I'm also praying that my mom will come and continue the business and take over because I'm not loving it.
Wait, so when did you find out that it's not as easy as you thought? Like, was it too far along to give up, or why did you now keep going?
You can't give up. It's impossible.
Yeah.
I kept on going because I spent a lot of money already. My budget at the time was like, okay, 40 grand. 40 grand, I can do that. That's no problem. And then only 2 months in, I already spent 40 grand.
Oh,
And I was yet to even buy one bag of Gary inside the store. And I already spent 40 grand.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, wow. Yeah. So I knew that, okay, this is not going to be easy. Plus, the store I got was like a shell. What that means is that it was empty and it had nothing. So I had to pretty much do the ground, do the wall, the electricity, HRV system. I didn't even know there was anything like that. So all of that costs a lot of money plus the rental. So yeah, like I said, 2 months in, already 40 something thousand, and then by the time the store opened, I think I had spent close to 90,000 already. So how's that gonna quit?
Yeah, you just have to.
So I had to open the store. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're gonna try and do this, and we're still trying. So, and the business is there's profit in it, but it's not as much as people think because it's almost like you're rendering a service to the community. So you have to be careful about that aspect as well. If you have big expectations, like you're gonna make a lot of money, so that's why I said don't go into it because you're not gonna get super rich instantly. Maybe eventually, but it's gonna take a while. Yeah.
Okay. Something that I've been curious about, because in Nigeria, like when I maybe listen to a podcast, I just hear people talking about clubs and parties and things like that in Nigeria. One thing that always comes up is maybe one guy that's trying to form like he knows how to spend money, and then he gets there and he buys bottle and he can't pay. Does that happen here, or is it like they just pay with their credit card? Because I know
it does. Because I've worked different places I've worked at. Like now, 216 with the guy that owns it is like a partnership. So I worked in a different spot before where I was just a general manager, but I still had to answer to the owner.
Yeah.
So now that there's a partnership, we have to kind of come to like an agreement. So we agreed that we're not going to run anything on credit. But even still, with Nigerians, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Mostly when you know the guy is going to say, hey, I'll send it on Monday. You can't tell security to hold him or whatever. That's your guy. You know him personally. So, but Thank God, I've been there for almost a year, and we haven't had any situation where people don't pay. So everyone that's
Okay.
been to 216,
Shout out to
yeah,
you.
good
You're doing a
customers.
good job.
They've all paid eventually. Maybe they're over a week or two, but
Okay,
they've
that's
all paid.
fine.
But I know for a fact, the other spots that the people that are owing money, thousands of dollars for months.
So is that something that you, as a manager or like as an owner, is that something that you consider? Like, do you put that into account when you're thinking about the losses that you may make, or is that just a loss that is going to make a
Um,
dent, kind of thing?
Sometimes you can't even plan for it because how it usually works with these guys is that they come and they spend 5,000, 4,000. These are big spenders,
Yeah.
they have money, and then that one time they show up and they don't pay.
Mm.
So you never really account for it. You don't plan for stuff like that. And then I'll say with alcohol business, the ratio or the percentage, the profit margin is actually honestly very high.
Mm-hmm.
It is. So people tweet every time like, "Oh, it's ridiculous! Why
Yeah.
am I spending $400 on a $60 bottle from LCBO?" It is true. Yeah, the profit margin is very high, but at the same time, bigger crowd, more security, more bottle girls, more staff, more of that stuff. But to be honest, there's still a higher chance of you making a lot of money from liquor business than the grocery business.
Mm-hmm.
So usually, if you have a spot that's popping properly, like every weekend bottles are coming out, and then this one guy doesn't pay this $5,000 bill, it shouldn't be enough to render the business useless.
Yeah.
But it will still hurt the business.
Yeah.
If you come to a grocery store and you take all the Gary and you don't pay,
We'll
close the
tell.
store. So yeah, so it's a big difference. We're now having to manage both. You see the difference here. It's stay at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with managing so many things and so many people, how are you able to like have a life of your own, or is that kind of intertwined with work now? Is your personal life intertwined with work just because kind of has to be, or do you have time and separate that time for yourself?
Honestly, I tried to do that. So okay, man, it's not gonna work for me because people call me different times. They call me at their own time. So some people do 9 to 5, and then they call me after their 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So I have to cater to these people. But yeah, every now and then I'm like, yeah, I need 3 hours to myself, and I just put my phone on silent and go to bed, or sleep, or play a video game or whatever. So if I feel like I'm getting stressed and I want to take a break, I'll take a break. But it is my life. I don't do 9 to 5, so I just work every day. I don't have days off per se, unless, like I said, if I'm feeling like I'm kind of jaded, I want to take this day off and not really talk to as much people. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it's like, okay, I can't help it. Yeah, I can't control it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to reduce my workload. Because I think I'm trying to, like you said at the beginning, I'm trying to work smarter and not as hard. Mostly now I'm trying to go to the gym every day. I'm trying to get my fitness, you get me? So I need time for that. So, but it's not. I'm getting used to it. It's not as crazy as people think it is.
Okay.
Maybe just because maybe that's who I am. Yeah,
it.
I'm used to it. So I think I'm okay.
Yeah. Because I'm still curious about this retirement issue. So let's go back to it very briefly.
Why you not try to retire me fast?
Is there a level that you reach? Like, is there a goal in your head that you're like, okay, once I've done this, then I've done what I needed to do? Or is it just it'll come up as the stages move higher?
That's a good question. Because I have some people that I work with at the moment that are just as determined as I am, and that's hard to find. Because those guys, I don't even see them as promoters as well. Like 60, Nathan, Omar, I don't see them as promoters because they're very smart. So I'm looking at it like, okay, the near future we'll be on this path where we are doing great things. So I don't like to put a limit to it, and I don't think it's never going to end if I feel like, okay, when I start doing parties that have 5,000 people, then I'm okay. I don't think I will ever be okay. If it's 5,000, then the next year we want to do 6,
Yeah,
7,000.
the goals will keep growing.
Yeah, so the drive is there. Is not. There's no end to it at the moment. So yeah, there's no end. There's no limits either.
Okay.
Yeah. So either, for instance, before affirmation, there were other things.
Yeah.
So now, God help us, we get to one day we're like, oh wow, we're doing affirmation numbers, and then we will want to try and do better.
Yeah.
And I'm sure affirmation people too, they're trying to do better.
Yeah.
So that's just what it is for me now.
Okay. So just a final kind of advice, I guess. We've already established you're not just a promoter, just a host. So motivation for people who are trying to branch out. They may not be in the same path as you, but
Yeah.
maybe they are now in a 9 to 5 and they're trying to branch out and do different things. Could you just give them some advice on how to manage that?
Wow, tough. Entertainment industry, people want stuff for free.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of free stuff, even till today. But you need to feed yourself. So I try to make sure I monetize as much stuff that I'm doing. So even me being here, maybe you should pay me for it. But I try to monetize everything.
Yeah.
But then again, you messaged me. I read the message a couple of times. I went to look at your YouTube. I'm like, okay, she's just starting up. And this is nice because once upon a time I was just starting up too. So if you're going to do entertainment, try to make sure you know where the money is coming from. Okay. Whatever it is that you're doing, because you're going to need money. You're going to do better for yourself. You're going to need money to pay bills. I think that's one. And then I'll say be open to ideas as well. I try to be open to new ideas every time, innovations, and then also do what I already know that works. And I always try to add new stuff to it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I can go on and on, but at least those two, they're good for now.
Yeah. Let's not steal all your gems. Okay, well, thank you for all the gems.
That's all?
Yeah, that's it.
I didn't even feel any.
Quick and easy.
I didn't feel any pressure.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want you to be relaxed.
I had fun. I had fun.
I'm glad you did, and thank you for taking out the time from your very, very booked and busy schedule.
My pleasure. I wanted to be here.
Yeah.
So, different vibe. Why not?
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've taken down all the notes because you won't get to anywhere else. Okay? Exclusive content.
Thank you.
But yeah, I hope to see you in my next video. Again, thank you, AJ, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah. I had a great time. I'll come back.
Yeah.
Thank you.